So today I wanted to talk a little bit about Batman because there was a recent study. Now, like all studies, I don't know the ins and outs of how biased or not biased this was, but you can make that decision yourself, about everyone's favorite Batman. Who is the favorite Batman of America? So there was actually a study floating around a few days ago that decided Michael Keaton is the overall favorite Batman, at least according to new data from home entertainment furniture company Valencia Theater Seating. This is from CBR as well. Our old nemesis has returned. So it's interesting because among American Twitter users, which are already a cancer, but hey, I like Keaton, okay? I like Keaton. Using data from more than 150,000 tweets, the study found that Keaton was the top Batman in 23 states, with Christian Bale coming in second place with 18, and Ben Affleck and Robert Pattinson came in third and fourth. What's weird to me about this, because actually looking at the CBR article, what's weird to me about this though is that you pretty much have to do geotag tweets from over 3 months. That's how they did it, including wording like Bale is the best Batman, or someone is the best Batman, or GOAT Batman, like greatest of all time, or best live action Batman. But when it comes down to things like this, it's a little odd to me because, you know, this very clearly was not sifted through by a human. And when you actually look at it, who's to say that someone didn't say Bale is not the best Batman, and then this thing just reads it as Bale best Batman? You know what I'm saying? So I don't really know if there's really any accuracy to this sort of thing. And when it comes to AI or just geotags and stuff like that taking tweets, I think we're a long way off from there being actual accuracy to that, just because of that sort of thing. Again, you could look at a tweet, and if they say GOAT Batman, like let's say they say Clooney is the greatest of all time Batman. What if they said Clooney is not the greatest of all time Batman? Or Clooney is the greatest of all time Batman, and then in the second tweet they said, nah, I'm just kidding. Well, they're not going to read the "no, I'm just kidding," right? That's a separate tweet, and it doesn't have these keywords in it, but the first tweet does. And also, you have the fact that everybody is mentioning, you know, right now, Keaton, because he's confirmed to come back for The Flash, and he's been confirmed for a while. I mean, we've had that floating around, and we knew about it. And of course, as well, over the course of those 3 months, you also did have the fallout, I'm sure, from the Leslie Grace, Michael Keaton Batgirl movie that got canned. You know, and of course people are still talking about that. So I don't know, in my opinion, this is a little interesting, and it's something I kind of wanted to get your take on, of like, who is your favorite and why? I guess I just kind of wanted to hear some thoughts on that. Now for me, this doesn't actually mean who's the most comic accurate, because like, I would say the heart and soul of who the Pattinson Batman is pretty comic accurate, right? But there's a lot of things in that world that kind of go their own way to fit that world. We see the same thing with Bale. And we see the same thing as well with pretty much every Batman. There's always liberties taken. For me, my favorite actually is Keaton, but I also know he is the least comic accurate live action Batman, you know? So for me, even though he's my favorite, I also know he's not the most comic accurate Batman at all. And there's a lot of things that they changed about him. And honestly, Tim Burton pretty much admitted he did not read comic books. So he just kind of did his own thing with it. It's just, I really love those movies. I will say I do have nostalgia for them, but I'm also not old enough to have been alive when they came out. So it's not like I'm, you know, in a retirement home and like I, you know, was 40 when I saw it or 30 when I saw it. And it's like, oh, it really stuck with me. I was like -6 years old at the time. I wasn't born until 94. So for me, it's not just nostalgia. There's a lot of things I do like about him. I've actually been thinking about doing a series of videos. Tell me if you think this would be interesting or not, where I go through and talk about all the things I love about each Batman actor. Now, not just, you know, a 5, like, oh, here's what he did, here's what he did. I mean, like, here's a video about Keaton, why I love the Keaton Batman. Here's a video about Bale, why I love the Bale Batman, stuff like that. Because I do think I have a lot I could say about these actors and portrayals, even though most of them are not super comic accurate. I do think they're really, really fun. So I kind of wanted to hear your thoughts on that video series in this as well. I kind of wanted to gauge that and get what you think about this whole thing. Do you think that this is a relevant study? Do you think it is not? Do you think it's at all true? Do you agree with it? What are your thoughts on that? I know Jill's favorite is Robert Pattinson, followed by Michael Keaton. Mine is like really close. I just think right now Keaton edges out Pattinson for me, just because I really enjoy the amount I've seen him and he's been with me longer. That sounds really weird, but I'm hoping Pattinson blows that out of the water in subsequent The Batman sequels. So let me know what you're thinking in the comments down below. Please be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Also, by the way, we do have a lot of ways to help support the channel if you're interested. Channel memberships are now up. The join button should be down below the video. If you're on iOS, Apple, you might have to go on a desktop because for some reason Google and Apple do not get along very well. But there's plenty of other ways to help support the channel as well. We have a Patreon, we have a secondary channel, Degenerate Plays, where we play through games podcast style. Jill has her own channel she started where she does analysis and toy reviews and other stuff. And of course, we also do have EnchantingGlamour.com, also DegenerateJ.com, or finally, MagicalJill.com. If you spell glamour, be sure it's Glamor, not the U, because some very interesting individuals decided to start a NSFW site with the U, so don't go to that. But there is a lot of great stuff over there, including repurposed comic book resin pieces, where comic books were being thrown in landfills or gotten rid of basically, or incinerated, and we got them from local shops, and Jill is turning them into really beautiful art pieces, coasters, keychains, and more. And of course, as well, she does also do very awesome jewelry, one-of-a-kind jewelry pieces, and some repetitive jewelry pieces that there are more than one copy of. So be sure to check that out in the links down below. Have a fantastic day. As always, everyone, stay shui.